Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. And thank you so much for attending this session. I see some faces on the screen, and I'm quite excited part of this. Okay, I see something else is playing. So what I've decided to do, because of the numbers, I decided that let's also stream this, and we'll be able to see where it takes us. But thank you very much, everybody, for making it to this meeting. And I really appreciate everything that you have done to make this possible. So the order of events this evening is as follows. So I'm going to basically first stop sharing this screen. I'll do it in this way. I'll share this screen basically as a full screen. In this way, I hope it appears to everybody. So this at the beginning of this meeting, I wanted those who have not yet filled in the skills form to go ahead and do that. I would like to also respect the time that you have taken to actually come and be part of this. I'm going to open in a prayer, but quickly, the order of proceedings is going to be as follows. The prayer and the opening by myself, and then I'm going to let the team to take its place. And after that, we're going to do questions, comments, and conclusions. I've asked the team to make sure that they don't go into long explanations, that they make things very quick and easy, because we are going to make this presentation available to everybody. But first, can I open in a word of prayer? Like I normally say, for me, I can do no otherwise. I can only present to you what is deep within myself, and I do not have anything else to offer to you other than what is deep within myself. John chapter 12, verse 24. I tell you the truth. That's Jesus speaking. Unless a kernel of wheat is planted in the soil and dies, it remains alone, but its death will produce many new kernels, a plentiful harvest of new lives. So this is what we are looking to usher in, a plentiful harvest of new lives. So when you find that, for instance, you have somebody presenting you with new furniture, it's usually important to say, all right, in the space where I would like to put this furniture, what's there? And if you feel that what is at the place is not worth the furniture that is being brought, it is usually important to remove the things that are there and make way for the new. So for many years, each of you have actually been working, you've been putting food on the table. We have said this over and over. Now it's time to take a bit of a change. When people reach age 40, they usually make a bit of a change in life. So we would like to enable that change. So as I pray, Father, thank you for each of these, your children, that Lord, as we gather here, that it is you that we seek to glorify. Father, our parents, our grandparents have prayed and have prayed for each of us. Right now, we tap into those prayers that they have prayed. And we declare that from today, these prayers will come true. We will not make a mockery of the prayers that our ancestors have prayed. And from today, we will take steps which will empower us to make a change, to make a difference in the life of this country and this world as a whole. In the name of Jesus. Amen and amen. Do I hear an amen somewhere?
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Thanks to everybody for attending this session. I'm going to make it very quick. Let me go straight into the remarks that I had in terms of the opening. I would like to first ask if there's anyone here who has not yet filled in the skills form, please go to the WhatsApps that have been sent and fill in the skills form. We need that information from each and everyone here. I'm going to forward that skills form, and I would like you to please respond to that. And if there's anyone who's got it here, who's got this link, please place it on the chat line. Let's please use this time to fill in this form. The background to what we are doing is that on the 5th of January of this year, you as ISSA alumni mandated Tertia, Mascole, Deepa, Dan, Ezrom, Lisa, as well as Video and Debucho to set up some teams which would create operations. That's what you said. You should set up teams which would create operations. It didn't say what the vision was going to be. Surely those teams would then work to create a vision, and that they would be doing that work on behalf of you. And you set up 7 thematic areas, which we have listed over and over. We will actually go through those today. So over the past month, these people have constituted consultative teams of people who have volunteered to help them. And now they have put together some simple roadmaps, some plans of actions, and some systems by which the ISSA alumni could empower themselves. Let me just check if this meeting is actually, if I'm recording, apart from putting it on what's that platform. So I would like to also record, if you don't mind. Okay. Okay, thank you. My apologies for that. Okay. Now, in terms of the work that you have mandated them to do, here's what has become clear. Okay, if there's anyone who can help us with muting anyone who seems to needs to be muted. So for each individual, this, it seems, is going to take one of 2 directions if we want to know where we are going. That is what I have picked up from the people who have been doing this work, the 7 individuals. There's going to be a more empowered employee in each of us that's going to come out of here. But the second direction is that there's going to be someone who's going to take an enterprise route, which could include starting a business. So when we talk about enterprise, we include even NPOs, charitable services, and innovative products. But ultimately, what is up ahead of us is going to be people who are compelling role models in every way. So for the collective, this will enable the alumni to become a powerful voice, a respectable voice, and compelling role models. So I'm going to hand over for the first part to a young lady, Deepa, to take us through the skills and unemployment database. But quickly, this is her purpose. The purpose of the database is to identify skills that the alumni possesses and to assist in linking each person with the most appropriate opportunities. Please take it, Deepa.
Thank you, Mhlekazi. Good evening, fellow alumni. Firstly, I would like to thank the background team that I worked with in compiling the form, including everyone who made the input, especially after we distributed the form to say maybe we should include some of the things. We appreciate that. we've noted those comments. And I would also like to thank everyone who took time to complete the form. So there are actually two forms that are out. The first form is for the skills database, which on the skills database, everyone must capture the skills that they've developed so far, even their level of competencies. And then, so through those skills, they are going to help the teams or the alumni, everyone here, in order to get the skill sets that we have as the alumni, and how can we utilize them to improve on certain things. As Mklagas has already mentioned that there might be two directions to this. It might be a personal thing, improvement into workplace. So for example, if someone is on level 5 in terms of artificial intelligence, as an example, and I, as Dipapang, I'm interested in that, I'm on level 2, or I'm still interested in that, I can keep in touch with that person or that group so that I can improve myself, enable myself at the workplace in order to empower myself uh, with the career perspective that I have. So that is where this is going. And then the other reason for this is so that we can also be able to assist each other in terms of should we decide to create sort of a NPO as an example, to decide on a database for different companies where we'll be able to fetch the skills from the alumni. We'll be able to utilize the very same database. So this is an ongoing thing. We won't close it because the skills are improving over time. And so we might have to improve on the form as time goes on. As I've mentioned, some people, they've already mentioned some of the things that they think that we should have included on the form, but since the form was out already, so we couldn't do that. So from the roadmap of the form, we've created the form, we've used Google Form. So far, only 2 or 3 people have access to the information. So we did not share the names. But we'll request everyone who's completing the forms we must all be aware that this data is going to be utilized for various reasons within this alumni objectives. So so from the forms, there are 2 types of forms, which the first form is the skills form. The other one is for unemployment. So the unemployment form, the person who's completing the unemployment form is the person that is currently not employed, but they also need to complete the skills form so that we know that what type of skills do they have. So they are integrating in a way. And then after collecting the data, so all the alumni will complete and share with whoever is not in the group. There are people that don't like the WhatsApp groups, we know, but not that they are against this, or those that they don't even have WhatsApp, that is possible. So, but let's try and share as much as possible these links. And then on the third phase, please go back to the third one. On the third one, where we'll then group the skills to identify what types of skills do we have. Like currently when we're analyzing, I think it was on Friday, we had about 60 different skills, but we didn't get to the point of getting to the levels. At what levels are we with those skills? So the competency level will also need to be analyzed. the business owners to identify how many people have businesses, how many are unemployed, and link all those. And then the other part, it will be the data analysis, which for sure we will need more people with data analysis experience to assist in this regard. We'll use the very same skills that is captured to identify and approach those people, or if you know that you have those skills, please get in touch with us. Can go to the next slide. So the expected possible outcomes with regard to these skills, it will link to all the other legs of the project, such as opportunities to see what opportunities can you get from the skills that you have. Maybe you are employed, but from the skills that you have, you want to have a business, you want to utilize that for your own business. Now you are fine with it being employed. Now you want to explore the business venture. So how can that help you? So we look at those opportunities, and then how to do the business startup, the unemployment as well. Will be able to link them to all these other four areas. So the call of action, as I've mentioned, will need more analytics. So if you have those skills, we'll need that. Even the tools required, we'll use the spreadsheet. It can be Python, the BI. So that will be based on the skill set that we have. If a person is more comfortable with BI, or we have a lot of people who are comfortable with BI, we can use that and explore how we can analyze this data to make sure that we reach the objectives. So this is our project. It's not Dipapang's project. Everyone needs to be involved. If you know that we have those skills, let's get together, get in touch, and then we'll make it at the end of the day. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Okay, Deepa, we'll take the questions right at the end. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Just to go back quickly, there's a call to action here. If you would like to volunteer, there's a form that we make available. We will actually send that information out, but you could just as well take that information down now. It's going to be helpful. Tertia Busakwe will take us through the ideas part. Thank you.
Good evening, colleagues. It's a great pleasure to be here with you tonight. So I'm going to be presenting about the ideas part. And as it has been explained before, this is one of the teams that was looking into how we can be able to collect the various ideas from the members of the alumni into some kind of a data repository where these ideas can be evaluated, and maybe they can turn into some projects, which in turn, based on the skills that are available in the group, we can be able to run those projects on our own. So the team that was working here was myself, Jombambo Dumisang Mudiole, and Gladys Makagula. So I think a little bit of a background about this is, there are so many times where you think you see something not going well and you're like, sure, I wish things were being done different. Because sometimes you have an idea, and that idea, you don't do anything about it until you lose it. Or sometimes, maybe after a while, you see that that idea is being implemented somewhere and you're like, sure, yeah, and I had that idea and I did nothing about it. So we want to collect all those ideas and put them together into this pot. And then once they are in the pot, we want to have a team that will be able to analyze these ideas to see if they make business sense. And once it's decided that they make business sense, then they can be allocated to teams according to the skills that are required to take them forward. One other thing that we would like to do is, it's not just solutions that we want to capture, but we also want to capture challenges, something that is really bothering you. Even though you don't have a solution for it, we believe that if we put our heads together as members of the alumni, and we see that there's a challenge that has been locked, we can, that can kickstart the thinking process to come up with solutions for those challenges. Let's go on. So how is it going to work? Now, as I have said, so there are 2 entries into the data repository. You can either go in and log in a problem or a challenge, or you can go in and log in an idea that you have. Also, once you log it in, it will go into what you call a review process. And here under the review process, we need a team that will sit and analyze this idea. Will happen there will be brainstorming of the ideas, maybe a research will be required. There will be, business case formulation to see if that can be make a viable business, and also some preliminary design of the solution. And then once that is done, some of them may not proceed forward. It will be decided, no, this one is not going on, it's chucked aside. Okay, this one is approved to go on to form, as a business solution. So we have used Google Sheets to put together a small database, data repository. And like I said, once a challenge is captured, we can all view it and propose possible solutions. Or once an idea is captured, it will go to the evaluation team for review and analysis. And so at each and every time an idea will go through certain stages, maybe it will be a new one, statuses, or maybe it will reflect it's still under review, or it's deferred, or maybe it's approved to go on to implementation. Next. Now, this is what we've been able to put together. As you can see there, when you go into the database, you will log in the name of the idea, and you can put in a little description there. These are just examples that we put in. So what is the driver or the challenge behind that? But you are also, like I said, allowed to just go and log in the challenge without having a solution to it. And then it will have that status reflected. Which category does it belong in? Is it education? Is it analytics? Is it, whatever, software engineering? Is it in the space sector, and so forth? And you can put in a few comments, and then you'll log your name, who has submitted the idea. You're also allowed, if you don't want to disclose your name, to log it as anonymous. But we're also saying that if you don't feel comfortable to bring your idea, log it in there, you are free not to bring it. So only people who feel like they want to contribute, they can contribute their ideas. So what we've also managed to look at is that at the end of it all, the ISSA portal, I think that it's going to be alive at some point. We want this ideas pod to also be accessible from the portal, and also for purposes of communicating what's going on with the different ideas or the challenges that will happen on the portal. And then for now, guys, we are looking for volunteers to form part of the ideas evaluation team. So if you are interested, please come forward and help us to go forward. And also this database is the link has not been distributed yet, but I think it will be distributed at during the middle of the week so that you can start using the database. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Tasha. Really appreciate it. Among the things that we're gonna require, I think just to be a little more explicit, we need people who can work on the idea of www.issa.org.za. There are people here who know how to create a website in just 3 to 4 hours. Please, we need that, because we need to use that in order to share ideas as part of the ideas port. Thank you so much, Tertia. We appreciate you and your team for all that you guys have done. Ezrom is not here. He has asked me to therefore present the idea of the opportunities. He made a presentation recently, so I can assure you that I know what he presented about. So the purpose of the opportunities team is to augment the work of the ideas port by assisting the alumni to now identify projects, jobs, tenders, resources, support instruments, and possible returns. So the ideas port talks about the challenges, what problems do we see out there? The opportunities now refers to what projects can you identify for the ISSA alumni, what jobs, what tenders, what resources, what support instruments, and what could be the possible returns of that. This is how it works. An opportunity is a person. An opportunity is a person. A person is an opportunity. A person who is, a lot of the people that you see on your screen there, those are your opportunities. Now, but in order to take those opportunities and to make good use of the opportunities, you need skills, you need resources, you need support instruments, and you need to know what possibly are the returns. But let's go quickly. In terms of the skills that are resident in the ISSA alumni, for those of you who know how to do data visualization and who understand, for instance, the bigger words that come up here are actually the words that came in more prominently than others. The word analysis came, quite a lot. The word data, leadership, networking, communication, project, those words, in the skills exercise, they came up over and over and over. We also saw these. This is how skilled you actually are as people of ISSA. Software, design, analysis, networking, security, business, Cisco, specialist, those words came up quite a lot. So this is a highly skilled alumni, no doubt about it. It would be shocking for anybody to find that there's a community of people like these who probably haven't done much with the skills that we see on the screen here. So we said the next thing you need resources. Resources usually are physical resources, financial resources, human resources. Physical, of course, includes buildings. If you need buildings, you need computers, any equipment that you might need. Human resources. A lot of people normally ask questions about this process, and they say, so does this mean now I must leave my job? I don't think that's what it means. You are so well positioned to be a mentor to someone who is entering the workplace, someone who's still at college or who is just finished, who, so from where you are, it's important that you look at it this way. The work of the alumni of ISSA is to bring in new people. Those are the people that you are raising up. Those are the people who are going to work. And you have developed a higher level of skills. You do not need to, you don't need to first be thinking of leaving your job. Your work is to raise up people. That's what entrepreneurs do. Intellectual resources, reputational resources. So we also talked about support instruments. Those include grants, loans, subsidies, and trade-offs. Those could be, for instance, financial. We talk also about a business ecosystem. Within the ISSA community, there's been talk about a holding company. We'll hear more about that on Tuesday. We also talk about companies within our stable. So it's very important that there be diverse companies within the ISSA ecosystem so that these companies would actually build a whole group of companies who should be so formidable and would be able to pass opportunities within itself and would be able to derive, serious advantages. Of course, that would then mean, if you begin to be seen as, hey, you guys are taking up too many of the opportunities, you will also need legal advice. So we need to know how to build a business ecosystem. You need contacts, you need connections, you need business expertise. It does not have to reside in you as an individual. The ecosystem itself can actually put together the business expertise, and you do what you believe you're skilled at. So according to Dr. Ngaba, these are some of the areas of opportunity for the ISSA alumni. There was a document that was put together by a group a group of alumni after the event to honor him. And these are some of the areas that I believe he endorsed, that we need to be very instrumental in providing career guidance. We need to do work in the area of engineering. Those will be explained by the opportunities group. Entrepreneurship coaching should focus on ICT and telecoms. We should study market trends. We need to also go into cybersecurity, software development, as well as space science and space technology. The call to action. Please introduce this team to experts. If you know any experts, tell those experts about this opportunities team, and also connect those experts to this opportunities team. These must be people who can equip the ISSA alumni with knowledge and skills on technology, value chains. That word is going to be very, very key. Value chain, need to Google that word, make sure you understand it well to operate in what is going to be done here. People who are going to equip and actually assist with skills, with projects, with tenders, and other things. So in order for this to function, we need to put ideas on the pot, and therefore we need help for instance, in building, we talked about the website of issa.org.za, but here's an example that is just low-hanging fruit. Anybody can do this. Can anyone here bring a web link which can guide all of our children to learn coding? If that's possible, or anything that you can bring to the benefit of this community, please. Thank you very much. Can I hand over to Dan Matsapula to take over in the area of entrepreneurship? Thanks.
Thank you, Mhlekazi. Good evening, colleagues. Greetings from Cape Town. So mine is very short and simple. Mhlekazi, yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to drive the slides up a little bit on your side so we can have a full view of what's there. But the purpose behind the entrepreneurship and business owners aspect of the ISSA alumni is to encourage entrepreneurship and business ownership as vehicles for creating value. So we gathered as the ISSA alumni. We are science graduates before we are anything, from previously disadvantaged communities. So when we left, we became entrepreneurs by the opportunities that were available to us. We became investors. We became wealth creators. So now we are positioning the alumni to learn the skills required to enter into billion-dollar industries. Like I've heard at several platforms, it was discussed that education is a serious opportunity. Every problem is a business. We are scientists, so the science stream, including space science and technology, and of course, the aspirational knowledge economy that our country is driving towards. So entrepreneurship and business ownership are vehicles. So we're going to use these vehicles, and we wish to assist those who wish to start businesses so they may make an effort to learn about business so that they may be effective from the beginning of their journeys. So we'll put together various ways by which the ISSA alumni may learn from those who have experienced both internally and externally. So, for example, I'm Group CEO of the Deneo Group, and it's a thriving business. So I would want to help as many as I can to start their own businesses, see reasons why we should do this. How would we go about doing this? Well, having come through ISSA, we are knowledge workers. So we are working in various knowledge systems and enterprises. We are science role models in one way or another on whatever scale, little to the biggest global scale. We are science role models, and we need to model the role of science in unlocking economic value. They say it's easier to convert a scientist into a chartered accountant, but the opposite is not possible. So I go further to say it's easier to convert a scientist with analytical skills, great analytical skills, into entrepreneurs, into investors, into wealth creators. So we are probably parents, but many of us are past our 40s. So parents are African household executives charged with growing the African household economy as parents. And so we become, by default, we are our children's greatest teachers. So by learning, investing, and entrepreneurial skills, we will pass these skills to our children. And so we will seek pathways to invest in research and development. I truly believe that research and development should be everybody's business. These are not just government prerogatives investing 1% of GDP. Every person, every knowledge worker should be constantly working on developing new ideas, researching, finding gaps in the market that can be filled, and finding ways to innovatively fill those gaps. They say a business is born when a solution to a problem is found. So some of the key problems we are going to face have been defined already. The government has done us a favor by actually identifying the triple challenges: poverty, unemployment, and inequality. ISSA intervened for us, and today we are the benefactors who can play a role there. There's a nice philosophy there. Did you know that you can partner with the government as a private citizen and use tax incentives to create our own economy, regardless of what's happening in the national and global economy? There are some very exciting things, such as the ability to write off many of the expenses that we incur along the way, including networking platforms like these ones that cost money. They are able to be deducted as part of business activities towards the production of income. That's the productivity test. So the call to action that we really are driving towards is, as the business team, being entrepreneurs ourselves, we are calling on those who already have had some experience in running their own businesses to come into the community of practice, to share experiences and to help the alumni and maybe stimulate more interest by many of us who are employees to get into the business space and to know where the incentives are to get in. Those who have studied business as part of their studies from MBAs all the way to management development programs, we also welcome you, if you are specialized in business, to help and create a thriving community of practice so that we become an ecosystem of entrepreneurs and business owners, and we showcase just the value of the basic science foundation that we are building upon. I'll leave it them, Shagazi. You can just include what I've left out.
Well done. Then this is very, very clear, very much to the point. Thank you so much. Let's take Mr. Memani. I suppose he is here. He promised to be here. Mr. Memani, charitable NPO and fundraising. Okay, I don't hear him coming on, but of course his slides are pretty straightforward. We all know that ISSA wants to, that is, the ISSA alumni want to develop an idea of charitable services which they wish to undertake, and therefore what needs to happen is that we need people who can raise up and manage funds for the ISSA alumni for whatever purpose. And so we need to then have this team to guide the process of determining the means of supporting both the charitable services and innovative business startups of the alumni. So, just a background, you can say. At first, there was a Stokvel account which was set up in order to honor Dr. Andile Ngaba, who's the founder of the Gauteng Institute. And later in 2021, it was agreed that this account and all the remaining funds within it were graciously passed on to the whole ISSA Gauteng alumni to say, go on, take this forward from here. The purpose is to finance both charitable activities as well as to finance the startups of the alumni. So a bank account has been distributed among the ISSA alumni. There it is, we all know it. So the first bank statement was withdrawn yesterday and the report was presented. So just quickly, you'll see that the names of the people there might not look too many, but for me, this is a huge step. It's a pioneering step. And the people who have already started have actually charted a course for everybody here. So of the three signatories, Ms. Ndibo Rapalelani requested to step down. Tebucho and Vido offered to remain for 12 more months. And we know that in this past week, Cleo Matlawe and Fezi also then volunteered to join the team. So we do need some other people who could join and help, because look, would you not like to be one of the administrators of the finances of a simple entity such as this? Because this is not complicated at all. I mean, you've worked in a Stokvel, please just volunteer, help us look after the finances of everybody here. The target for 2022 is a simple 1,200 Rand per person, be it by December 2022. So this translates to a lousy 100 Rand per month So if you have not yet started depositing, I can tell you that right now you are 200 Rand adrift because the target is 1,200. So please start. So we intend to not utilize the money during year 2022 unless there's a meeting which gives exceptions, and you'll be able to see what the exceptions could be. So the aim is to use this year, 2022, to sharpen the idea of the purpose of this charitable entity. And here's my understanding. When your money is in, you will want to say something. Money has a way of actually leading the heart in a way. So it's obvious that we cannot stay at a target of 1,200 per year. Really, we are growing and we want to do bigger things. When you want to, for instance, there are projects that you could be, I mean, it's 100,000 Rand project. You could be asked to produce 20% of that. And so these are some of the things we need to raise funds for. How can you miss out on 100,000 Rand project just because you just didn't have 20,000 Rand? You know, we're an alumni which can be able to do that. So if you want to be part of what the alumni is doing, your contributions will say more about that. So I just want to go into the last part, which I call the forthcoming attractions. You know, that's what usually comes up in the movies when you're at the theater there. So from the 6th of January, just a little background, I held some listening sessions with almost all the ISSA training streams. There's only one which just is not connecting. This has helped to broaden our understanding. You know, myself and the people that I've consulted in each of the streams, people have gotten to understand each other more. And one of the things I've picked up is there's a level of love, a level of respect that there is among yourselves. You guys, you know, you feel like you have gone through hardships, you have paid at the school of hard knocks, and now you are ready for challenges. And so the ideas that have come up in the process, there's an idea of a Center for ICT Innovation and Research. Again, let me emphasize, we are not saying, I don't think the people who came up with this idea were saying that the people of ISSA are now, the people who graduated from ISSA are now going to leave their jobs and go run that center. No, it just means you are going to mentor those people, you're going to oversee those people, you're going to be there for those people, you're going to operate in the board of that and make sure that the management of that is held accountable and that the strategy and the direction of that innovation center is up to date, it's according to what you want. So people say they would like to influence the curriculum in the tertiary institutions, want to develop technical capacity to fight financial crimes. There was an idea of a digital cooperative bank. That idea is going to surprise a lot of you. You'll see a little bit about that. So there's a team which is putting together a lesson on how to mentally prepare for change. These are people who have gone through changes and they want to, they know that there's the whole thing of fear. It usually holds people back. There's a team which is working to find a job for a former classmate. There's also a charitable fundraiser, which is also taking place in one of the groups. Now, this Tuesday, 7 p.m., 15th of February, is a management accountant. His name is Mr. Marshall Darwinger. He will explain to us how to establish an effective business ecosystem. Nobody must miss that one. That is really the pinnacle of what's going on. There's also, starting this 17th of February, 8 p.m. So there's a little difference with the Thursday one. Professor C.S. Mostert from Stellenbosch University will begin a series to help all the alumni to understand and unlock the various aspects of the value chain of a high technology undertaking. That we have explained in the groups, just because you did not do satellite systems does not mean you should not attend that one. It's all the more reason you need to attend that one, because ultimately the people who build satellites, they build the satellites and then that's it. And then the rest of you take over. You take on the rest of the value chain, you take the rest of the business which comes from those satellites or those high technology undertakings. So he is going to help us to understand the value chains and to unlock these value chains. So the leadership team that you have just heard from will also be lining up speakers to help with personal development. There's a speaker from the National Credit Regulator who is, we still need to have him confirm. He will be explaining how each person can make better financial choices at this stage of life that you are in. There's also a speaker who is being lined up to explain how a charitable enterprise is formed, is governed, is kept financially sound. The alumni have got a dedicated MBA team, or a team of MBA graduates, which has already been functioning for some months. It's been working on the business of one of the alumni of ISSA to help with the digital transformation of that business. So this team has already been working, it's been months now. So one of the spin-offs of the skills database exercise is that now there's a possibility of the establishment of a dedicated team of data analysts for this alumni. That's a cross-cutting function which can actually grow into something much bigger than we thought. And the MPO fundraiser has given its first report. Now there's real cash that the alumni can talk about. So of course, we're going to use the year 2022, but we must decide what is the percentage of charitable causes. That is, what is the percentage of this money that will go into charitable causes, and what is the percentage that will go into helping with business startups? Can this money that is being raised pay for service providers within this year? If, for instance, there's a speaker who requires to be paid for their services, can this alumni pay, towards that with the funds that are being raised? But it's obvious that by 2023 the target should be increased. Now, here's something worth considering. Bit of a surprise. If 200 of you can raise 100,000 together, you have everything that you need to establish your own bank. You have everything you need. You can have your own bank as the ISSA alumni. That's the minimum that the law prescribes. So the call to action here tonight is please empower yourself. Attend these events that we're talking about and do listen. Contribute your mind and your talents to all of this. But more than anything, let's drop our fears. A lot of us have been disappointed. We have had situations where maybe we may have lost money, or we met people who are untrustworthy, or at ISSA we didn't have the best experiences. We feel, what good can ever come out of those ISSA alumni? That is terrible. It actually means that you doubt your own self. You do not believe that you too can do great things. But here tonight, I'm asking you to believe that you too can do great things. So the indicators of achievement for all of this, what would we see in order to say we have been successful as the ISSA alumni? There will be an increased number of Black entrants and young professionals in technology-based industries, and they will be mentored by you. They will work for you. They will work in the companies that you will establish. There will be Black intelligent voices in technology-based industries and markets. And you are among them. And the young Black entrants will actually be among them. There will be an increased market share of businesses which are owned by yourselves in technology-based industries. And the last thing, you can actually have more, but you're going to bridge the technology gaps within your own families and within the communities that you've got access to. You're going to impact those communities and you're going to impact your own families in a great way. There's been a question about conflict of interest. People saying, oh, I'm not allowed to participate in any business venture. That's fine. I don't think there's ever a company which prohibits that completely. If you read the fine print in the policies that the company has, you will find that there's somewhere where they allow you and they just tell you what you must do. Fill in this form and make sure that it's that your business does not do this, does not do this, does not do that. And also, when we talk about business, we're talking also about charitable entities. I do not know of any company which can ever say do not participate in an NPO. That would be quite interesting. So don't assume, don't exaggerate, just make sure that you know exactly what your office says you must do. And ultimately, what shall we be known as the Gauteng Institute alumni? We need to be known for our high ethical standards. We need to be known for honesty, for trustworthiness. People must be able to trust us. We must be known to keep our promises. We must be loyal. It must always be known that we are fair. We are caring. We also show respect. Respect for other people, but respect for one another. But more than anything, respect for our own selves, respect our background, respect where we come from. Law-abiding. We should be known for excellence. We should be known for leadership. We should have a reputation, and we should be accountable. So I think at this point, let 1,000 flowers bloom. Let's discuss. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see if there's any questions, any contributions that you guys want to make. It's 9 o'clock South African Central Time. So can I ask that we try to make sure that this meeting is done at least by 9:35. All right. So each one, let's try to not make speeches. Let's speak it quick. Speeches are done. Thank you.
The chat box, Mhlekazi.
Okay, there's a chat box, right? Take us through it, Dan.
I was just alerting. I see there are questions. There's a question. The first question says, how will it's from, let me just go up, Takalani to everyone. How will we ensure that the ideas are protected and who will take ownership of the intellectual property that came from the ideas? And Sidibeng says, good question, TK. And Dorothy says, would you share the examples of viable charitable organization? I'm just reading them as they are, and then we can take them all at once. We have to, okay, Keza is alerting us that there are 2 questions in the chat box that we need to attend to. These are the questions.
Yes. Okay. So in terms of the question about intellectual property, those are things which need to be then thrashed out within the teams that are dealing with the opportunities, with the ideas, and with the entrepreneurship. But what has been made clear is that if you would like your idea protected, if you would like your idea to stay confidential, then don't bring it in this environment at the moment. We are not yet equipped to handle that. But then participate and then show us how ideas can better be protected. Yeah, I think that's about it. Dorothy, yeah, the NPO team will have to do that kind of research, find which are the NPOs that we talk about. For instance, look at Vodacom Foundation. we know some people within Vodacom Foundation. They should be able to come and explain to us how they operate. So there's various charitable entities that we can actually model after. Okay, any other question? Okay, perhaps let's go beyond questions. Let's let 1,000 flowers bloom. Can we hear what you think of all this undertaking? And is it something worth going forward with? Is it something that you feel that you could begin to volunteer in? Does it make any sense to any of us? All right, let's hear. By the way, Mr. Sidibeng will actually be running the program on Tuesday at the session that we'll be having a management accountant explaining concepts to us. Go on, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah, my comment is very simple and short, Mr. Sondlo. My own family keeps asking me, why are you spending so much time with this alumni? Hasn't the funeral passed? Because we were organizing the memorial service. To me, we are the largest gathering of very highly trained Black people. To me, we've had experiences, we are coming together. The driving force for me is we are now no longer looking for opportunities that will support us. On the main, for now, we are benefactors, no longer potential beneficiaries. So we are looking at giving. We are looking at leveraging our accumulated experiences and knowledge and giving to a society that definitely still has the need, if not more, than at the time when we were the ones in need. So I'm very excited at the prospect of what we can do together that I cannot do on my own. And if you want to go, as the African proverb says, if you want to go further, then take others with you. But if you want to go fast, go alone. So let's go further. That's just
Thank
my...
you. Thank you. What do you think, colleagues? Yes, Deepa?
Okay, good evening. I would also like to agree with Dan to say, even with the themes that we have now, it was a start. So if people still have ideas on how we can win this, how we can make sure that we help others benefit, it's not only to benefit us, but to benefit others. How can we do it best? So with the ideas that were presented today, it's just a start. It's not that is a cut in stone. It's not that is the seven people's ideas, but your ideas, your input will also be valuable to make sure that this becomes a success. Thanks.
Thank you, Deepa. Let's hear from you, Liz. Followed by Dorothy. Okay, you are on mute, Ms. Namafu. Okay, Dorothy, go on. Liz, we're after you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My contribution is that these are excellent ideas. These are great initiatives. However, I think we need to do more. Like a lot of them to me sounds like they're just ideas. No, like I'm talking about the NPOs, you talked about research needs to be done. Like, how would we measure that progress? How would we get there? You know, shift from talking about things and then maybe kind of putting a little bit in it. The next time we talk, it's, you know, this is what has been done on this. I think a lot of people are in a lot of companies where they are seeing how this stuff works and they can contribute to something. Let's have something written up, something more like, let's put the meat into the skeleton. They are great ideas. I'm just saying I'm proud to be part of the ISSA, but let's put more meat into it.
Thank you, Dorothy. I really appreciate that. That's exactly what's supposed to happen from now. There's a form that we have sent out to say, please use this form to volunteer. It's on the WhatsApp. So if you look at your WhatsApp, you'll see something about volunteer. Please click that form, just keep it open. You'll be able to find where you can volunteer there. We need everyone to put their heads together now. We need actual action. But we really appreciate what the team has done. They had the work of ideating, just to say, what is the idea? And the problem has been I think what they needed to do was to say, where are the guardrails? So that they don't do too many things. So they have been able to focus what they need to do. But now we need to bring in, people who feel, okay, now I see where this is going, and I can be able to contribute this and that to the process. Thank you, Dorothy. Anybody else?
Apologies, I'm back, Mhlekas. It's Lizzie.
Yes, my friend.
I dropped instead of unmuting myself. Apologies for that. What I wanted to just say, this is the first session that I've attended, but I truly appreciate and am inspired by the spirit shared in this meeting. I hope this bears fruit and we are in a position to give back. We received a lot in participating in the different programs in ISSA. We gained different skills. I think it is definitely time for us to give back. That's all I wanted to say.
That's the newspaper headline right there. Thank you so much, Liz. Anybody else?
Thank you, Chair. And colleagues, I hope I'm audible enough.
Very much.
Yeah, this is Kaiser. I would say, just to echo my colleagues, that we are on the right path. This is a very good initiative. I mean, I see ourselves as a vehicle that our government can ride on in a journey to economic recovery. After going through such challenging times of COVID-19, we can definitely participate in an effort of helping our country to recover economically, to help our government to create jobs. As we had SONA, the government is pleading on industry to assist, and we should see ourselves as such. Let's help to industrialize this country of ours, and we cannot start anywhere. This is a good start. We should not despair, even if the 100 rands are coming slowly, but we are on track. We are coming. We'll bring those financial assistance so that we can push this vehicle. I see a brighter future than where we are today. I thank you.
Thank you, Kaiser. I think the team which has been working is very encouraged to hear that from each one of you guys. Thank you so much. Mr. Yes, that's fine. Oh, I thought that was a hand that was lifted. Okay, so here's Miss Nosi. Hello, Nosi. Mkaya wam.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Very much.
Okay, so I want to echo what's already been said by others, that it's a very great initiative. In fact, I believe that it's something that we're supposed to start much earlier, but that's fine, as long as it's starting right now. So from my side, I would say that perhaps we can have our meetings much earlier, like instead of having it at 8, maybe on a Saturday, we can have it at 8, but on a Sunday, perhaps we can have it around 6, if that's acceptable.
So you say on a Saturday we have it at 6, or on a Sunday we have it at 6?
On a Sunday, we can have it at 6, because Sunday
Okay,
evenings
we'll
are
check.
usually busy.
Okay,
And
thank you so much. We'll check with the guys. But thank you so much. So
Yeah.
So it's about the meetings.
Yeah, my passion is on the giving back to people. So I think I'll be joining Vita's team, but I'll fill in the form. It's also my first meeting, but I'm very inspired. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll again share the link to how you can volunteer. So thank you so much. Can we take Ms. Usakwe, then Lisa, and then we take it from.
Yes, thank you, Johnson. I just wanted to say that thinking back to the question about intellectual property and how are we going to make sure that ideas are protected, I think that what we need to do is to kind of speed up the process of institutionalizing or forming a structure. I don't know whether it's a company or holdings company or whatever it is, because then in there, that's where all these things can be cleared in terms of, protection and intellectual properties and all those kind of things. So I'm suggesting that I'm not sure if there are people working on that already. I know that we are having something on Tuesday to kickstart the discussions, but I think we need a team to specifically focus on that and make sure that we get institutionalized. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's that takes us forward. Most of that has got to be done inside of the working groups. The direction about what needs to be done in order to protect intellectual property must be done inside the group. So thank you so much, Tertia. Lisa, then Dan.
Thank you so much, Dumi, and good evening, colleagues. I know this will sound like a cliche, but I have to say it as well. This is such a great initiative, and the timing could not be better. I think I'm not sure if Mr. Den was reading my mind, because I was also thinking the same words that he said before he spoke them, that if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go with people or as a group. So I just want to say bravo to those who are keeping the momentum of this initiative going. And also want to caution or urge that it should not stay at this stage. I know this is the initial phase of everything, but there's so many takeouts from this that already we have seen from the presentations today. So there's a lot of things. We're gonna go far with it. I think what you were presenting, you showed us the faces there. And already there were so many images that were running through my mind, because it is the perfect time, like I was saying, that for us as this group or as the alumni to position, or I don't want to use the word take over, but eventually we need to get to a position where we take over. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Dan? You on mute? You on mute?
You mean the real Dan?
Good evening, everyone. It's a great initiative. I followed up on this, on the presentation. My view is that we might have to put more emphasis on our documentation, because yes, I agree with Dan. If you want to go fast, you have to go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go as a team. But if you want to make sure that we are here forever, we need to make sure that we do the proper planning. I will just give an example. From the business perspective, the questions that were asked, for example, about the intellectual property. I mean, it's just for someone bringing the idea to this team, and then Daniel goes and implement it elsewhere. It's not only about someone believing this is a brilliant idea, and then what if it gets stolen? You know, for example, this evening where we had about 40 participants. So some of us would be in the team just to get the ideas and go and implement elsewhere. I mean, we've seen, as an example, a huge organization such as Vodacom, where now they are battling, they are fighting each other with Magati for the idea. So I would recommend and I would suggest, if we want to make sure that this initiative is here for maybe another 100 years, we have to put a lot of efforts on our documentation, on the policy documents. People need to understand what are we involving ourselves in, so that we are 100% sure. Even if, for example, we have to, for sure, maybe within this team, a team can be organized where, you know, similar case studies can be gathered. You know, this is what we're trying to achieve. This is what was done by, let's say, an alumni, perhaps, let's say, at VETS or in another organization, so that, you know, yes, you know, it's our own, perhaps, unique vehicle, but can it sustain itself? That's my input for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. So the emphasis is on the policies, making sure that that we have policies which ensure that I mean, things are not taken for granted, that people don't think this is some Hong Kong activity. But thank you very much, Dan. All right. So if there's anyone who's got any further advice in terms of what should be done next by this group, let's take it between now and 25 to. Okay, Dan.
Okay, so my idea of the next steps. I believe that we should continue to do what we have been doing to amplify the ISSA alumni and align ourselves to the qualities that you've described, Dumzani. but also to the aspirational qualities of how would we like to be seen as an alumni of ISSA collectively, first and foremost. So let's continue to do that. I believe we are driving towards being an organized voice that is the go-to platform for even our own government, noting that we've all been beneficiaries of government initiatives, but more so, as my learned friend Kaiser Mroka has alluded to, let us be relevant to what is happening in the economy today. We are in economic recovery. How can we position ourselves as a collective to be more responsive to help transition this economy in the direction that has been decided by people much more intelligent than we are, who are in much higher positions of authority than we are? So I see each and every working group that has been put together, going back to refine its ideas, going back to firm up and to take up the questions that are coming up on what exactly are we being involved into, the questions that are coming up on these IP issues that may come up. Because we come here as benefactors, there will be those outright winning ideas that don't have to wait, and they are already there. The outright ideas are already there. I've heard in the conversation with Prof. Mostert, for those who were there is seemingly a universal question: what are we doing about education? And so these are some of and education, like disaster management, this is everybody's problem. They are not just the specific types of people's kind of problems. So I would say, let us organize ourselves as we drive towards the nexus where we're going to have a formalized naming of sorts. Let us look at how we can be relevant to the needs of South Africa and the African continent today, now, and let us also attract that support that would come from outside of us, based on how we have handled ourselves in the initial stages. And let us use this platform to honor the voices of those who are no longer with us. This was, for me, spurred on by such events as the loss of some key ISSA alumni. So let us remember that we are those who are still here to make the choices, and those who are no longer with us cannot make those choices anymore. How would we like to honor their memories, their names? So that, in a nutshell, for me, let us continue to do what we have been doing. For those who were doing less, let us use this opportunity to up our game. For those who've been doing more, let us use this opportunity to dig even deeper within ourselves to go further. But the working groups are going to be very critical in terms of, and I'm talking about all the initiatives, the skills, the contributions, all of these working groups and their leads. They're going to be critical in the sense that they're going to determine what we do going forward, knowing fully well we are all driving towards ISSA revival, whatever name, shape, or format it will take, but creating an ecosystem of like-minded individuals who largely are here to give back. That's what I think, in summary, should be the next steps.
Okay, thank you, Dan. So just as an action step, then, based on what Dan has just said, we have provided a form here where it's for this forms of volunteering. So if you look in your chat group right now, or if you look in your WhatsApp group, you'll be able to find that in there is a link for if you would like to volunteer. So can I ask each one to just take some time and open that? Now, here's the last thing I want to do. We all know how to click the reactions. We also know how to basically what is called to lift up the hand. I'm going to take a screenshot here. Can I ask this question? Who of us here would like to go forward with this initiative? Who of us will be filling in the volunteer form? That's the bottom line for me. I'm not going to say anything about the financial contributions. Who of us is going forward with this action, and who of us is actually going to fill in the volunteer form? So I'm going to give the next 30 seconds. Can I see everyone who's going to do that lift up their hand? I'm going to take a screenshot as soon as I believe that we've reached critical mass in terms of the hands. So maybe I'll say those who have not lifted up their hands are not sure if they're going to participate in this initiative any further. So 15 seconds to go. I'm waiting for my first screen to fill up. So this is what I'm doing now. I am taking a screenshot because this is all that is needed in order to take any action. Just hold it right there. I'm going to the second screen. There it is. That is done. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for what you've done here today. You can lower your hands. I'm just going to share one last slide, which is going to then show a little bit of what I hope we will do from here. So among the skills that we need to understand in terms of this ecosystem, I'm not saying skills that you must have. At the bottom, there's the technical skills. Just above those, there's the management skills. Just above those, there's the entrepreneurial skills. Now, everybody who's here possesses technical skills. And normally when somebody starts an enterprise, only because they have a technical skill, usually they realize after a while that they do need management skills. But the second thing is that many, probably 80 to 90% of you have got management skills. You have managed projects in the work that you are in. And if somebody goes forward with only the technical skills and the management skills, then there's usually a bit of a challenge, but it's not a challenge that cannot be surmounted. The entrepreneurial skill is usually I would say it's an ability to pull to a lower gear, to be able to say my impulses for wanting to go put my hands on the technical work, I need to hold them back. Secondly, my impulses for doing management, I need to use my skill as a manager, but I need to always remember that I am the owner of this business. So I need a certain other way of thinking. I should think a little higher than a manager and a technical person in this job. You can be doing some of the technical work, you can be doing some of the management work, but there's just a little bit of a jump where we say, what is an entrepreneur? How does an entrepreneur think? So I would like to ask us, to really take the time within this process to learn those things, because those are things that this ecosystem is going to teach. So from Tuesday, I invite everybody here to attend when Mr. Marshall Darwin will be speaking, and I would like to also ask that we attend on Thursday. I'm going to take Dorothy, I'm going to take Ronald, and the last speaker is going to be Siva, and then we close. Dorothy?
No comment. I was just saying you are going a little bit over time.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
No comment.
Ronald? Okay, I don't hear any comment from Ronald. Ronald? Okay, that's fine. Siva has also put his hand down. So we said we'll close the meeting at 21:35. It's 21:36. Thank you so very much, everybody, for being here. And I'm going to declare the meeting closed. I know that some of you will want to be chatting just a bit. I'm also just going to be playing some music just lightly, but within about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to then shut everything down. But thank you so very much, everybody, for coming, for being here, for taking time to do what we're doing here. You are all absolutely special. So thank you, guys.
Bye to everyone.
Bye, Vito. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
End of time. No, there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something to remember, so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I lived each day until I died, and know that I meant something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought best, brought